Yo, what's going on, everybody? JBM 418 back, bringing you guys another interview today. Today with me, I have my good buddy Jake Treccapelli. Thank you for joining me, Jake.
Well, of course, it's fun to finally be on the show. Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, so the day we're filming this happens to be Mets opening day. That's why we both got our Mets gear on. So, let's start it off. What are some of your favorite sports teams? I mean, I know them, but tell the people what some of your favorite sports teams are.
I know Jordan knows, but for those of you who don't know, so New York's my home, but I also consider Arizona my second home. I mean, I stayed 3 months in there over quarantine, so I definitely think I consider it second home. So my allegiances are kind of split. So here in New York, I'm a big New York Rangers fan, and then obviously we both have our allegiances toward the Mets. And then in Arizona, I became a big Phoenix Suns fan, as well as an Arizona Cardinals fan. And they can also throw Duke in there. College basketball, yeah. So those are my teams.
All right, so one question I've always had, so I know your favorite teams. If you had to rank those 5 teams, 1 through 5, how would you rank those teams?
All right, so the way I do is the Rangers are on a tier of their own. Like, if they ever won a Stanley Cup, I'd be crying. That's definitely my ride or die, number 1. Then comes the Phoenix Suns, because I love basketball, and just over time grew to love them. Then from there, I would say the Mets and the Cardinals are kind of on the third tier, but the Mets are a little bit higher. And then you have Duke. So yeah, it goes Rangers, Suns, Mets, Cardinals, Duke.
Nice. And I assume the Mets being a little bit higher is just because you get to be able to go to their games more often.
Yeah,
more local.
Exactly. I'm able to see more of their games being from New York. So yeah, Mets trying to get a little nudge ahead of the Cardinals.
Nice. So your Suns have gotten off to a pretty good start this year. They're playing pretty well. How do you feel about their chances this season?
I mean, I think more than anything, it's just been amazing. I mean, the last 10 years have been extremely difficult. Just not only not making the playoffs, but I mean, the last couple of years they've been like a laughingstock. Yeah. Terrible team. So I mean, to go from the bubble to what we're doing now, and I mean, not only just to make the playoffs, but to feel like we have a chance to maybe even win a championship. I mean, I don't know, it's incredible. I mean, all the success we've had makes you kind of forget about what was. And I mean, it's tough because I want to just, as much as I know they can win, you want to see them do well, it's definitely going to be special when they clinch that playoff spot first. That's when it's really going to hit.
For sure.
So it's been a lot of fun for sure.
Man, speaking of fun, your Rangers basically struck gold 2 years, technically 3 years in a row. 3 off seasons in a row. They signed Panarin, they got the second pick in the draft and drafted Capo Caco, and then they got the first pick in the draft and got Lafreniere. What was your reaction to Lafreniere when they got the number 1 overall pick in the draft?
Oh, I mean, I remember I was at my dad's and we were watching the lottery. And I mean, I was prepared to pick, I think we were like 10, 11. I was preparing for that. You can't expect to win. So I was getting ready for Anton Lundell, good center prospect. But I mean, as soon as the ball came up and it panned and you saw the little bit of the Ranger logo, I'm telling you, I think my conscience lost my body. I was going nuts. I was like, let's go. Relax, every time, baby. That was like unbelievable. Definitely like a top moment in my time as a Rangers fan. And I mean, I know we talk about it a lot, but I've been very fortunate the last couple of years in terms of being able to get these, like you said with the Rangers, we've gotten Panarin, we got the luck with Capo Caco, Alexis Lafreniere, the Suns now I get to watch Chris Paul, one of the great point guards of all time. The Mets, we just got Francisco Lindor signed to a big-time contract.
And your Cardinals got DeAndre Hopkins last year. DeAndre Watt this offseason.
Yeah, the Cardinals were able to get DeAndre Hopkins, best receiver in the league.
They got Kyler Murray the year before, too.
Yeah, and then we won 3 of my teams won the lottery. I always say, I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. So these teams aren't doing too good. So I don't know if that's a good thing. But I mean, we were able to get all this exciting young talent, add on some great players. So I mean, more than anything, the future for all 4 of those, Rangers, Suns, Mets, Cardinals, future looks bright. So I'm definitely excited for what's to come for all those teams.
Yeah, all your teams that have been the laughingstocks are now looking like they're going to have some very bright futures.
We're coming. We're all coming. So it's definitely an exciting time to be a fan of if you're a fan of those teams, and so.
For sure. All right, so you mentioned the Rangers are your number 1 team. How did you become a Rangers fan?
So my grandpa's had season tickets to the Rangers since 1967.
Wow.
Yeah, so we bleed blue in my family, and he would take me, I guess, when I was around like 6th, 7th grade, and I just love the sport itself. It's just such an exciting game. There's always something happening out there. Whether it's a hit, you make a play, fight. There's always something going on. I know. I mean, I'm probably at MSG. How about those environments at a hockey game?
Oh yeah, I'm not the biggest hockey fan myself, but going to a hockey game is so much fun. Just the energy, the excitement, it's all just great.
Yeah, I mean, just definitely my favorite sport to watch. And then, it runs in our veins. We bleed blue, so yeah, definitely a lot of family connection for my teams, and I definitely rank at the top because of my grandpa mostly. Yeah.
Nice. Speaking of family connections, you said that half your teams are in Arizona. So, how did you get connected with the Arizona teams?
So, as I said, family. So I have an aunt and uncle who live out in Arizona, so we'd always go out there once or twice a year to see them. So when I was younger, my dad would bring me to Phoenix Suns games. So I kind of saw when Steve Nash was there, 7 seconds or less teams. And that was just exciting basketball to watch. The way they moved the ball and make plays, that 7 seconds or less, the offense was so exciting. So, and Nash he was incredible. What the plays he'd make, he was just an artist with basketball. So, that's really not only just Suns, but basketball in general. That's where my love of basketball really began. Steve Nash will always be my favorite player, my basketball idol. Tried to take his game and make it somewhat my own. So
jump shot's a little different.
Yeah, but you know what? It goes in, so they don't count the same. So I'll take that. And then for the Cardinals, I think that was more so just my infatuation with Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
I guess early on was more so his talent. He's one of the great receivers we've ever seen. I'm pretty sure he's second to Jerry Rice now in receptions. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So he's a great player, and then I think now even growing up, he's like an incredible human, just one of the great people in the world. So I just have a lot of respect for him. So, and then obviously they're in Arizona. So that's how I kind of connected with the Cardinals.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. All right. So, of your teams, who would you say is your favorite player all time from each team, and your current favorite player?
All right. So I guess I'll go down the line. So for the Rangers, always will be Henrik Lundqvist. Great goalie in all time for the Rangers, just in general. One of the greatest competitors, people I've come to see. So definitely Hank for the Rangers. In terms of favorite current player, I guess I'd have to go Panarin. I love his personality. I love most of those guys, but I guess Panarin's at the top. I love his personality. He's such an exciting player to watch. That was a special day too. I remember you came to my Panera Bread party right after, we had to go to Panera Bread after you signed Artemi Panarin.
Yeah, I remember we were working at camp together and you sprinted across the field yelling, Jordan, the Rangers got Panarin! The Rangers got Panarin! Sprinting across the backfield.
I still think my favorite story from that is we have a couple of Islander campers. I was mentioned Bobby Teets. And I know we were in
Bobby just recently told me you watched the video. Shout out to you, Bobby.
All right, make sure you watch this one, Bobby. I love this story. So, he's an Islander fan. I'm a Ranger fan. It was July 1st. It pretty much was clear. Our time was either going to the Rangers or the Islanders. So it was best team win. So I guess I was working most of the day. It was around the time of my lunch. It was around noon. So I was like, all right, maybe there's some news about Panarin. So I look and I see that tweet. All signs point to our Panarin going to NYR. And I was just like, biggest smile on my face. I'm walking to lunch, Bobby and the other camper walking towards me. I had the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, what's going on, guys? How's it going? All good? We've had a lot of great pickups the last couple years from all my teams, but obviously the Rangers are my big team, so those moves always hit home to me better. But
he's probably been the most impactful so far.
Oh, he's been worth every penny. A lot of people are saying maybe he got over. I think he's underpaid at $11.5 million. The guy's isn't
he the second highest paid player in the NHL?
I believe so. At the time he was. I'm not sure now, but at the time he was behind McDavid, who he's unbelievable. But Panarin's special, man, and his personality's great, and just the fact that he took less. I was giving Lindor some busting chops. I was like, Artemi Panarin way less money than you, and he's willing to take less money to play in this city. So But, they got it done, so I'm not going to get on Lindor too. But, I mean, yeah, Panarin, he's just a heck of a talent and love his personality. I'll go through the other ones quick. So, for the Steve Nash, all time, right now, Devin Booker. He's a bad man, D-Book.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's finally getting the national recognition. His team's finally doing well, so I'm
Yeah.
happy for Book. Cardinals, Fitz obviously will be, and he hasn't retired yet, so I'm going to keep Fitz.
So he's the number one
once he retires, I think that's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I haven't had the pick, so.
Well, he's still around, so he counts as your current.
But I mean, obviously, guys that are up there now are like Kyler. I always loved D-Hop in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, that was another story when we got DeAndre Hopkins. That was
for almost nothing.
Oh, I mean, I just wanted to get rid of half of David Johnson's contract. So when I saw it was funny. First, I saw they traded him. I was like, okay, cool. I guess we got rid of half his money. Then I saw they got rid of the whole deal. I'm like, oh, cool. We can actually make some moves. Then it's like, oh, DeAndre Hopkins coming back. I'm like, what? So I'll never understand what Bill's doing. I'm currently building a Bill O'Brien statue in front of my house in AZ. Got my. It was like I always loved DeAndre Hopkins in Houston. So I was like always maybe a pipe dream that I'd ever get to see the Colonel Rand. And I mean, to see him do that and to see him do the Hail Murray catch.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
That was unbelievable. And then we got Chris Paul the next day. So
nice.
Things in AZ are going pretty well. But I mean, that was unbelievable. And then for the Mets, all time.
Honestly, your all-time might be the same as your current, being Pete Alonso.
I love Pete, man. I remember that story too, and I saw the kid hit the home run in the prospects, and I'm like, who is this kid? And you're like, Pete Alonso. I'm like, this is my guy, man. He's gonna be a player. And I mean, what he did his rookie year was incredible. And then the same thing, just the person he is and the things that he does it gives me those, Henrik Lundqvist vibes, those Steve Nash, Devin Booker vibes, Larry vibes. I love those guys that are great on the ice or on the court, whatever it is, and off it. So I really gravitated towards Pete for the player and the person. So I guess right now it's both.
Yes.
Yeah. The Mets was kind of a more recent introduction.
Right.
So
right.
I would say Pete Alonso for both. But I mean Lindor, he seems like I'll forgive the whole contract dispute. But
you have 11 years to forgive him.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he's once he starts kicking butt and helping us win World Series, I think I can let it go. But I mean, same thing. He's electric on the field, great personality. I think he's gonna be like Panarin. I think he's gonna be a home run. And I was, you're a big Met fan. My cousin's a big Met fan. That's how I got into the sport. My uncle as well. So I was really happy for you guys. Not only when you got him, when you extended him. I called you both times. When they traded for him, I had to keep it going. So, so that was. I'm glad I got that done. I'm excited to get the season started. For
sure. I know that you've seen and been part of some pretty cool sporting events, whether it's, you playing, you seeing a game. I think I already know what this answer is going to be, but what's probably the coolest sporting event that you can remember, that you've been to, that you were a part of?
I've been to. All right, well, I mean, a lot for the Rangers. I mean, pretty much they're all going to be playoff games. Oh, not all of them, actually. All right, I mean, I'll list them.
I was definitely thinking of one in particular.
All right, I'll try to do a couple. All right, so I mean, there's definitely a lot from those playoff runs in 2014 and 2015. Those were special. I mean, Marty scoring on his mom's on Mother's Day. His mother had just passed. I mean, that was probably the most excited I ever gotten for a goal. I mean, in Game 6 in 2014 when they went to the Cup final, that was special to see them do that. 2015 against the comeback against the Caps. They won in overtime, Game 5 and Game 7. Those were incredible moments. I mean, definitely those playoff runs, a lot of memories. But I guess recently, probably the best regular season game I've ever been to is Mika Zibanejad's 5-goal game. I mean, that was unbelievable. And I hadn't heard the Garden rocket like that in a long time, probably since the playoffs. So.
Tell everybody what you did right before the game.
Oh, yeah. So what happened is I had just passed one of my tests, so my mom was like, buy a jersey on me. I was like, okay, cool. So we were deciding between Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider. I guess my thing was...
I thought it was Igor Shesterkin.
No, it was Zibby and Kreitz. It was tough because I wanted to get Zibby. No, it was Zibby and Kreitz. So that's why I started.
Well, remember I made the joke on Twitter?
Oh, you said I should get Igor. Yeah, you suggested it, but Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I put it as a poll on Twitter.
Yeah, I made the shirt.
That's right. I forgot. Oh, I forgot who people said. I'm pretty sure it was Zibby. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna go between Zibby and Kreider because Kreider's have been there a long time. Loved Kreider, but I really want to get Zibby because he's such an electrifying player too. But the only thing is, he only has another year on his deal, while Kreider had just signed a long-term deal. So that was the. But I was, you know what? I was with George Yakos. What's up, George? I know you'll be watching at some point. And we were in the Rangers store, and there was another guy like, oh man, I want to get the Zibby jersey. I was like, if I buy a Zibby jersey, you gotta buy one. He's like, yeah. So we both bought a white Zibby jersey. So I was wearing my Mika jersey. I was like, man, George, I hope he has a good game tonight. I mean, he did that more 5 freaking goals in this, and it was like, all right, I think I bought the right jersey.
Yep.
So yeah, and then I guess my one outside of that is when we went to that Mets game where they, we were there when they came back and Todd Frazier hit the 3-run homer and Conforto. That was like, I haven't gotten to too many Met games, especially when they were relevant at that point. But I mean, to see the lines as long as they were.
I've never heard this stadium that loud.
Oh yeah, when they hit those 2 homers, I'm glad I just got back from getting my food. But they hit back-to-back homers and the place was going nuts. I'm like, oh man, it's got Ranger playoff vibes. So I mean, I was, it was great to see that place rock, and I mean, it's such a fun environment. I was just glad the Mets got the win. That's always the important part. So. So I mean, a lot of special moments, and honestly, just whenever my next sporting event is, I go to is gonna be right up there, just with everything that's happened.
Oh yeah,
able to be
just
back.
will
be special. I'm excited for when that comes for sure.
Yep. All right, so fun story time. I'm hoping you have one better than mine, because mine is, isn't as good as some of the other stories I told, especially since one of the good stories with me and you I already told about Ryan in my first video.
Oh yeah, that was so fun. I didn't know at first, and then right before you told me, it clicked. I'm like, oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah, I just gotta say, because I don't know if you, but literally he had the biggest goof smile on his face. Like, look guys, I got a shirt, and we literally look at each other like, he did not find my shirt. And then literally seconds after, the guy comes like, oh, you took my shirt. And it's just, I think that thing with the candy, remember that guy?
Yep, the dude scammed us out of candy.
Yeah, it was like, Ryan, stop talking to people. Let's just get on the train before you lose your clothes.
Yep.
Like, oh, Ryan, that was fun, man. That was a fun night too.
Alright, so story I want to tell was, this one, it was not this past summer, but the summer before, when Kawhi Leonard announced that he was signing with the Clippers, and then they also announced that they were trading for Paul George.
That was crazy.
It was like 3 a.m. I randomly wake up to go pee. I saw it on my TV. I went and sat down. I was about to fall asleep, and you called me, and my alarm went off, and I started freaking out. Like, whoa, what's going on? And then you called me at like 3 a.m. to talk about the trade, and I'm like, Jake, I'm not awake right now. And you were like so adamant.
I think that was the most excited or crazed about something that wasn't my team. I mean, from them to go from it was almost like the thing with the DeAndre Hopkins. It was like, oh, we're David Johnson. Oh, we're getting DeAndre Hopkins. It was like, oh, cool, you're getting Kawhi Leonard. Oh, now you're getting Paul George too. Yeah, that was wild. Crazy wild like that sometimes.
All right, so one more fun story. A couple of years ago, so Jake and I met working at camp together. So a couple of years ago, we had an event before camp one day with half-court shots. And the first person who was up, I think it was the two of the sports specialists.
Okay.
And they both went and shot their half-court shots, and they both missed. The whole camp was here watching, by the way. So I get up there, I shoot mine up, hits back rim, doesn't go in. Jake comes up, first shot, swishes it and starts running. Dude starts running. He like everybody starts jumping on top of him. He runs over to me, we jump up, we do the shoulder hit, and that was pretty awesome. How did that feel when you hit that shot?
Oh my god! All right, I'll tell from my perspective. So yeah, a few people went. So it was only supposed to be a certain number of people. But it was we want to shoot, and then you just hear random Dave shit Jordan. So eventually, Jake. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So I go to get my basketball. One of our division leaders was over there. I go, I look at him, I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make this. So I go up to shoot it, and because I knew on the half court you want to go for the bank, right?
Right.
Like you're not gonna swish it. Apparently, you're not gonna swish it. So I was going for the bank. So I shot it. I felt like it felt. I thought I don't know. I mean, you can't expect it. It goes, and then I don't know. After I shot it, all I remember was it like I don't know if it just like swished. Like I swished that.
Yeah.
I think I didn't process that. Not only did I swished a half court shot with everyone watching.
In front of hundreds of people.
Yeah, pressure on. Yeah,
and you only had one shot. Like, it wasn't like you were going over and over again.
And in true, you hit half court with a packed house fashion. I start running to the. I'm going. I got my head like with left front ear. My spirit left my body. I was going nuts. I turn around. I see Josh coming. And we do like the jump up thing, and then I mean we're just going around them. And I think the best part is they said before the thing, if anybody hits a half court shot, your division all gets
like the special bracelets.
Those special bracelets. So then our division heads are like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!" And they had to give all the kids in senior camp, all of them a bracelet. And it was just like, man. And then I dubbed myself the half court hero because I supplied my kids with bracelets by hitting a half court shot. So.
If there was a scorer's table for you to jump up on, you would have jumped up on it.
Yeah, I would have had to go Jalen Suggs and. Except I swished it. He had the bag. I swished mine. So, and I think I was further. So
you were.
But I mean that was a crazy game, crazy shot by him. And I mean, that was definitely one of my top moments at Buckley as I now leave and we move on to Oasis. But I'll definitely have that memory forever, and we'll see if I can do it again at Oasis.
All right. Well, that's gonna be it for today's video. We have a Met game to go watch.
Let's go Mets.
If you want to hear more from Jake, follow him on Twitter and Instagram. Both of his links will be down in the description below. If you want to play some sports with me and Jake, we're both going to be working at Oasis Day Camp at LIU Post this summer. If you want to sign up, the website, I'll put that down in the description. It's oasischildren.com. Find the LIU Post link and sign up. You can, there's applications to apply for your kids to go, to apply for a job. We'd love to have you. Tell them Jordan and Jake sent you.
Listen, if you want to have the best summer, you come to Oasis. And we're going to have a fun time. And maybe I'll hit another half-court shot. We'll see.
All right. Well, thank you, Jake. Thank you so much for coming on my interview today.
Of course. I mean, I know it was great to see you get this started up. And I was proud of you. And it's an honor to finally get on the show.
I'm glad I was finally able to get you on.
Looking forward to it. And now we're looking forward to finally watching the Mets play, unless somebody gets COVID also in the next 10 minutes.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for checking out our video. If you liked what you saw, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to be notified whenever I make a new video, I'm going to try to make them more than once a week now. Hit that bell so you'll be notified whenever I make a new video. Make sure to follow all of my socials as well as Jake's. All will be down in the description. Thank you so much and peace.